brothers and sisters in the Lord, I bring you greetings from the seat of the Asante Akyem Presbytery, Konongo. We thank God for giving us life up to this time, for sustaining the presbytery and the workers up to this time. This year, 2022, the Asante Akyem Presbytery has decided to organize a homecoming where sons and daughters of this presbytery and friends and all those who wish this presbytery well are being invited to come home for a number of reasons. We are doing this under the theme building on the foundation which is already laid. Building on the foundation which is already laid. And we are picking this from 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 11. Why did we choose such a theme? We chose because we realized that all that is being done at this time, we are not starting from the scratch. We cannot reinvent the wheel. Work has started before. Others have gone ahead of us. Foundation has already been laid. Apart from what Christ laid, my predecessors and those who have gone ahead of me have also done their part by laying other foundations. And it is now time for us to build on those foundations. So we are trying to build on a foundation which is already laid. After the theme, we talk about why are we organizing this homecoming. And as I said, we have a number of reasons, but the three main reasons that informed us are: one, we want to know ourselves. We want to know who is my fellow Asante Akyem person, who is my fellow minister, who is my fellow native of Asante Akyem, the friends and the loved ones. At the last count, we realized over 70 to 80 Presbyterian ministers who have their roots from Asante Akyem. Some of them, their mothers and fathers came from here. Some of them, only their father come from here. Some of them, only their mother come from here. Some of them, they married and they have made Asante Akyem their home. They have become friends. Some are loved ones. Some wish this presbytery well. But we don't know ourselves. We meet in conferences and we just pass ourselves. We don't know ourselves at all. And that is why we have thought it wise to bring all of us together. In spite of the previous homecoming that have been organized, we want to come together and know ourselves as agents of Christ, as agents of the church. Secondly, we want to come together and brainstorm about the good of the presbytery. How do we move our presbytery forward? How do we advance the ideals of leaders of this presbytery? How do we lift this presbytery to such a pedestal that everybody will be proud to associate him or herself with the presbytery? The ideas cannot come from one person. Nobody has all the answers. We need to come together. We need to bring our ideas together. We need to get the connection and then the linkages right so that we can move our presbytery forward. And thirdly, but not the least, we want to raise funds. We want to use this as an opportunity to raise some funds to do some developmental projects of the presbytery. A few of them I want to mention. We want to do construction of pavilions. We want to construct a few more pavilions for our congregations and preaching points where they struggle to have even places to meet. Some meet in some people's verandas, some people's homes. Some are under trees. Some are at cocoa farms. Some are at places that are not really decent, that are not nice. And we want to build a number of pavilions apart from what the head office, Presbytery Church head office, is building for us and what some other philanthropists are also doing. We as a presbytery want to come together and do a few more to help take our members out of these places into a more decent places of worship. Again, we want to do land documentation and registration. We have realized that because this presbytery finds itself in quite traditional Presbyterian places, churches, many of the congregations do not have their documents right. Some of them have very old documents that do not that do not no longer apply. We need to help them. We need to modernize their document. We want to do a lot of the cadastral plans and pursue registration. How do we do this? These are very expensive exercises, and we want to do that to help some of the churches. Again, we want to develop our land at Nyabo. Nyabo is just the next town at Konongo when we are going to Akoko. And we have 5 plots there. This year we want to start development. We want to build a new mass, a new presbytery mass, where the chairperson will be, so that we can convert this, our old man, into a guest house. We've realized that there is a need to do something like that very quickly. So a team has been put together to work this out for us, and they are doing very well. We want to get a new mass so that we can convert this and get some revenue to move the presbytery forward. Again, as I said, we have hostels at Agogo. We have land there, we want to build hostel there. How do we get money to start? Agogo has ready market because of a lot of institutions there, Presbyterian institutions there, including the university. There is ready market. Students are always coming to us asking for places of accommodation. They want to rent, and they are walking in town looking for accommodation. How can we help as a presbytery? So we want to build a hostel, and when we do that, we will solve at least 2 problems. One, we will address, or we will contribute to addressing the accommodation challenge there. And then secondly, we can also raise some revenue to support the presbytery. So we want to do that. And then we want to support some of the agents who are working in hinterland, very difficult places, very difficult terrain. Some of them receive as low as 20 Ghana cedi a month, some 30 Ghana cedi, some 50 Ghana cedis. And you can imagine what they can do with such. What kind of motivation are they receiving to do the work? We want to motivate them. We want to support them so that they can do their best for the Lord wherever they find themselves. And finally, we want to do what we call direct congregational support. How can we support some of our congregations directly? Some of them need some few cedis to do their roofing. Some of them need a pavilion. Some of them need to get to lintel level. Some of them need a few things to be able to do so much. And yet, the presbytery looks so helpless without any ability to support. It is on this basis and on this reason that we want to see how we can build our presbytery by organizing some of these things. So on this note, I invite all of you loved ones, friends, relatives, sons and daughters of this presbytery to come around. Come and let us build our own. Come together and let us build our own. I was for me to me suffer munina afi 2022. Mumrefi. Baby amobia ye tuhu from was amumra. Na ye nhwe kwan e befa so a ye besiesie ye presbytery na aya kono na ahye onyame anunyam. Awurade de adwuma ye ahye ensa se yenye. Na me no mienu ne be ye. Mumra ne ntotro adwene ye nhye nyame anunyam. Me pese me hu afi. And until I been says on the 11th of September this year 2022, we want to have the climax of this year's homecoming. And even before then, we have a lineup of activities that will be done. And never be brain, and I actually Busumi bia niema ye bewa ye de bobo aye ho akodu da pona aye 11th September no. The drew higher from nyina ba ya bodwa tata e de asida piesie ama osuru nyankopon na fe ya dwedwene ye presbytery ne nkoso me frem momra watie ibo unua nso amade video na unya sande ma unua nso ye ma ne nko viral obi hu bi obi anti bi obi anhwe bi na ye mfre edom na ye mehia na ye mbold ye presbytery. Your presbytery a very strong presbytery. It will take you and I to make it happen. Already shall we na somewhere else amaye. Already shall. Amen.